Dane, episode 33 of the pod.
Have we made $1 million yet?
I don't think we have.
Wow.
We've gotten closer. We have gotten closer to the $1 million goal.
That is true, thanks to one of our sponsors this week.
Yes, one of the sponsors. You know who you are. And you know, it's Jake Trust and Art.
It's Jake Trust and Art.
We're jumping at you early. He gave us another $1, so we're almost to our goal.
Life-changing money.
Yeah, that was from the beginning. We're like, hey, if we make $1 million, then we can stop the pod.
You just wait until our merch comes out.
Oh, it's gonna be so fire. Like so fire.
It's literally just fire. It's just fire. It is fire.
Yeah, it went up in flames,
We're
actually.
starting it right now.
It's pretty unfortunate, but yeah, episode 33 of the pod. We got an exciting episode for you.
Yeah.
And yeah,
if you're Samuel's brother, don't go to your house. That's not where we're starting the fire.
Yeah, no, not here right now. So yeah, this is episode 33 of the Until Next Week podcast.
Yeah.
Dane, how are we not canceled yet?
Well, if we're not canceled yet, we're getting canceled this episode. I have lots of great ideas.
Yeah, you have so many great ideas. I mentioned we had some draft ideas that are coming in later in the pod. And I was like, you know what? These probably should not be illegal or detrimental to society, I guess. And Dane, I don't think he paid attention to my suggestions.
You know how good I am at following directions, everybody who's listening?
Yeah.
I'm very not good.
Yeah, he's very not good. But, you know, some people find that entertaining, I guess. I don't know if he just puts that on for the pod or that's just his personality in general or who he is. So shout out to the crazies out there.
I mean, Samuel started to get alarmed when we came up with the idea of the draft, and then I kept putting ideas and laughing maniacally after writing them down.
Yeah. We were about to record this episode, then all of a sudden he's just laughing to himself. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, this is like a villainous laugh. Like, this is not good.
And I read him some of the ideas I didn't put down.
Yeah.
And let's just say they were alarming.
Yeah. So just keep listening to the pod. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Dane, did you encounter a pack of hyenas or what's going on here?
So this is our Grind My Gear segment.
A classic segment, obviously.
It is. And so pack of hyenas is all I wrote right here. And it's not so much that they grind my gears. It's more so that we don't see them here in the United States. Because...
All right, so that's what you want to see packs of hyenas?
Specifically, I joked about at my work this week. I said
classic conversation, topics right there.
I'm on my walk with my team, and because I implemented daily walks and daily stretching.
That's important.
As you know, I work really hard at not doing work. I really do.
Shout out to Dane's bosses.
If you're listening, hey man, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for giving him a job.
They already know.
Yeah.
But I asked them if they wanted to join stretching last week. They said no. The COO declined too.
Do you think you're going to ask him to be on the pod?
Probably not. They'll probably reveal secrets we don't need.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, we'll keep them off, but packs of hyenas.
Yeah. So there's a brief stretch of woods right next to our building that I work at. And then there's a neighborhood right behind that.
Yeah.
And I said to my team, you know what this area is missing?
What?
Wild packs of hyenas.
I would have thought the same thing right there.
And I said, wouldn't it be funny if we all brought one hyena to work one day and released them into the wild out there?
Bring your hyena to work day. That one is usually not a big national holiday, but we could bring it back.
It would be wild because it's it's a small suburb outside of Springfield, Rogersville.
Yeah.
And I was like, this pack of hyenas would lay waste to the Rogersville area and all the local small pets.
It could make I mean, that's how you get rid of the weak ones.
That's true. You can't go on walks anymore.
I mean, I think it'll bring in more tourism because people want to be like, hey, these are the hyenas that completely like terrorize a society, and that's a great idea. Let's do it next week.
Oh no,
we'll bring them in.
The hyenas are back.
It's reminding me of give me big Lion King vibes right there.
Oh yeah, the hyenas were probably number 2 on the list, right behind Scar being the rightful king, of course.
Yeah, no, but that's like a third or fourth time I feel like we brought that up.
If you brought that up again, we can talk about it again.
We're good. We don't need to get into it right now. You can listen to our old episodes and listen to Dane's ideas why he thinks Scar is the rightful king. But I think that kind of goes well with his ideas of being kind of crazy, like laughing to himself because he thinks these villains are truly kings.
Message me if you're interested in factual content.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you about any controversial political leaders over the years because I'm scared what you'll say.
Everything's an inside job. Taylor Swift is a clone.
That's not an inside job, but
unless it is.
Who
Taylor Swift
knows?
cloned herself.
Crazy ideas every which way, which I guess I should expect these crazy ideas from you because it is episode 33 and Taylor Swift is 33, but we can get into that a little more in a second. But first, for grinding my gears,
What do you got?
is about Taylor Swift, so that was a nice transition.
Oh, wow.
She announced recently more U.S. tour dates for her concert, her Eras tour, and it's going to happen next year. They had we could sign up for pre-sales, so I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up. There's like 12 dates. There's some in Indianapolis, Miami, New Orleans, and I was like, okay, Indianapolis, I'll sign up. We'll see what happens. And guess what happened?
They said that you were too tall to go to the concert.
That actually is what they said. And then they're like, hey, on top of that, you're going to be waitlisted. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, what?
Man.
It's such a messed up system.
They're like Delta Airlines.
Delta, I mean, oh gosh, I don't want to get started on airlines right now. But I feel like the whole system for these tickets is just so messed up because they have it like completely random on who
Quote,
gets
unquote.
the tickets. But I feel like anyone who already got to see like shows this year who got picked for tickets, I feel like they shouldn't even be allowed to sign up.
Yeah.
And I feel like they need to have better stuff in place where people can't just resell them because after how crazy the prices went, I guarantee you it was just a ton of like bots or whoever else who's just trying to get the tickets immediately so they can sell them for 4 times the amount.
Unbelievable. You could make $100,000 off of this.
It's so bad. So
the
annoying.
Swifties are crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the Swifties, but I think the crazier people at this point is all the resellers. That's why everything's so messed up right now.
Or are they smart?
I mean, they're smart for them, but it's annoying for people like me.
It's crazy because
I just want to see Taylor Swift, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
it's crazy because you, original buyer, buys it. You sell it to after person making a profit. That person takes it and sells it, making a profit.
Yeah.
You could legit do this 4 or 5 times while somebody's like, nah.
And then it's like, yeah, now the ticket's $50,000.
Yeah.
And then we'll be $50,000 of the way to our $1 million goal for the podcast. I don't know how that relates completely.
Did we just find a way to monetize the pod?
This is how we do it. But I'm on a wait list, so I don't know if it'll work too well.
What if we live record from
Or
a Taylor
wait.
Swift
Or should I
Eras
say, I don't think
concert?
it'll work all too well.
Dang it. What a wonderful song. And hot take, the 10-minute version is not better than the original.
Yeah, you've brought that up also.
I also
We've
brought that
discussed it. We've discussed Taylor Swift probably on about half the episodes at this point.
Well, that's why we should just do a live pod from her Eras tour concert.
From her bedroom.
Oh,
Hello, Taylor. We are here, back on the pod.
it's me.
Guys, what are you doing in here?
Guys,
Guys, get out. Stop it.
I'm sleeping with my cucumber scrub. Like a facial scrub.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so she's going to be our next guest on the pod. That's why it's been a while. We've only had 2 people on the pod, one of which was Michael Fuller, and that's because we're in the process of getting Taylor Swift to be our 3rd official guest.
Speaking of people like Taylor Swift, Michael Fuller's a communist.
This is a test. Dane brought up before the episode. He's like, "Is Michael still listening to this podcast?" And I'm like, "He's been silent." And my idea is that we haven't slandered him enough, so that's why we don't know if he's still a listener. So slander him away, and it'll be a test to see if he comes back at us.
Exactly. Also, communism is going to be a common theme in this episode, so keep listening.
Yep, keep listening to the Until Next Week podcast. But yeah, those were some of our grinding our gears segments. And, it's a natural transition to go from the Eras tour being waitlisted and now Taylor Swift announcing her 1989 album again.
Man,
Taylor's version.
She just never goes out of style.
No, never goes out of style. I mean,
Never go out of style.
man,
That's her best song in 1989, by the way.
It's a very, very good song. There's a lot of good songs on that album, but you know what? In this new album that she released, even though it's a new album, but it's her old album, she's releasing new collaborations, it said, like on the album itself, and that some of them will probably be on new songs, but you never know. There could be one on an old song. So I thought it'd be interesting if we guess.
Harry Styles, I just pieced that together, is going to be on Style.
It only took you 9 years, Dane. You finally got it.
No, I pieced that together like 2 weeks ago because somebody told me.
You never got that?
I never got that Style was about Harry Styles.
I thought you were joking there.
No, I feel like until 2 weeks ago, I'd never got that. And then when you said collaborations, I was like, Harry Styles on Style. That would make, because they're still friends, right?
Can I blow your mind on another song?
No, don't do it.
So this song, it gets confusing for some people, but I feel like you didn't catch on. The song Tim McGraw. is about Tim McGraw.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's about a boy that she listened to Tim McGraw with.
Okay. Well,
I've listened to that one a lot of times.
I just had to throw that out there just in case, But yeah, I had some ideas on some collaborations. I think you had some as well.
Yep.
And I think, there could be a lot of different routes. Like, she could get Harry Styles on there maybe, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking the most realistic song for her to get a new feature would be she re-records Bad Blood. And the feature on the song will be Kanye West. No?
There's no way that will work.
It's relevant because they have bad blood. It's a natural transition. You can't have someone you have good blood with on a song called Bad Blood.
But he's an anti-Semitic now.
But it's bad blood. It's not good blood. If it's good blood, you could have Harry Styles or Taylor Lautner on it. But because it's bad blood, you have to do someone you hate. So it's either like Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, or a third answer that hopefully would be funny, but I can't think of one.
Why she hate Kim K?
They were married, and I think Kim K kind of I don't know if she blackmailed her, but she recorded a conversation without her knowing it and then used it against her. So
that's crazy.
They could do, they both could be featured on that song.
That's crazy. Kim K shouldn't do that. That's also shady. And the Kardashian people, you should not keep up with them.
Eminem. Because that's a real Slim Shady.
Dang it. Eminem would be a good one on there.
I think that was actually one of my first thoughts. I was trying to think because there's like Welcome to New York, but if it was Welcome to Detroit, then Eminem will be waiting for you.
He'd be there. He'd be like, let me tell you about Detroit. Fun fact, 8 Mile is mostly a documentary about my life.
Fun fact as well, he's actually from St. Joseph, Missouri.
I knew that.
Yes, shout out St. Joe.
Because his grandmama lives there.
Yeah. But then he moved to Detroit because it makes for a better rap career.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why we moved to Springfield, Missouri.
This is the best podcast career. Do you have any other
Oh yeah, I have two.
Yeah, okay. What are yours?
So my first one is I took this whenever we posed this as who we'd want her to collab with.
Okay, I guess I'd want Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Okay, who do you want?
Number one, I put Chris Stapleton.
Country.
Well, yeah.
But I feel like that would be better on her Taylor's version. That's gonna be a mouthful whenever that comes out.
Taylor's version.
Yeah, it's like, well, I thought all these were your versions, but
yeah.
Okay, so what song would you want him on, or does it matter to you?
Ooh, that's a wonderful question, and I don't know the answer to that. Therefore, thank you for coming.
Every song will be Bad Blood.
This
no matter.
Love.
Okay.
Yeah, because I listened to This Love and Clean. Ooh, Clean would be more accurate for him.
I feel like that could fit his vibe more.
Yeah, because he is kind of the old school, drinks a lot, does some pills kind of guy.
So he wants to come clean.
Exactly. So I think Clean would
be... Preach, Dane, preach. What's the other one you got for us?
My second one is Alicia Keys.
Oh, Alicia.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys.
Dang it.
Yeah, I love Alicia Keys.
I think... Okay, so who... That song, New York with...
Yeah, Welcome to New York?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. The song New... Wait.
Oh, New York?
Yeah.
The
Was
one
that her?
I don't know. I think you're thinking... Are you thinking of the one they...
With Jay-Z.
Oh, I think she might be on that. I don't know.
Or is that Riri?
It might be Riri. Is it a Riri or Alicia?
Well, I say Alicia Keys because Alicia has like some bomb vocals, and I think she could just lace up something on one of these songs.
That'd be good.
So I'd like her to see her on there.
Get bomb vocals together, and that's always a good.
Speaking of bombs,
my other collaboration I really want.
Yeah,
it's a little out of the box, and it's relevant because it's for Out of the Woods, and the person I want waiting for us is Bear Grylls.
Who's that?
He's the guy who used to be on like that Survivor show where he'd be in the middle of the woods like, this is how you survive in the wilderness by only drinking your urine and doing whatever else. He doesn't sing that I know of, but
I know.
It's relevant because he shows people how to get out of the woods. So he could just be giving survival tips while she's singing, and I think that could help maybe save people down the road because people always talk about, your music got me through a really tough time, but this will put a whole another like layer to that because when someone's stuck in the middle of the forest and they only have one song downloaded on their phone, it'll be Out of the Woods featuring Bear Grylls, and he'll tell you how to survive in the wilderness when the pack of hyenas is chasing you down.
First off, those are in a residential area now. You know that. And second off,
There's hyenas other places.
I know, but I've stolen them from Bass Pro and released them into residential
With the
areas.
crocodiles?
With the crocodiles.
With the crocodiles.
I'm so glad you got the reference.
No, I catch the references. Yeah.
Shout out to releasing
Yeah.
or stealing crocodiles from Bass Pro too. That one is actually an attainable goal, so we're working on that.
Yeah. Listen out to a future episode, and we'll see if we get them on the pod.
They're not frozen. They're just in my duffel bag.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know we'll get them on the pod. Just keep listening. Yeah.
I thought you said unthawed.
No. I said on the pod. Sorry if I slurred my words. I was just talking about Alyssa Keys and Alyssa Keys. So
all I'm saying is,
yeah,
don't open my duffel bag.
No. Oh, yeah.
It's over there.
It's moving around, but I thought that was something else. I don't know.
No, that's a prank. I promise.
Okay. Well, I think we're probably between the two of us. I think one of those or two of those collaborations probably is correct. Most likely
neither.
mine.
Yeah, most likely yours because I put what I want as opposed to what I think would happen.
Yeah, like you just want those, I think, realistically, and that's why Kanye West and Bear Grylls will be on the next 1989 album. So,
yes.
I think this is a great time because we're talking about our fantasy picks of collaborations, and I think this is where we should also talk about fantasy football a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in 9 leagues last year.
That is too many.
I have a problem.
Yeah, but before all of you turn off this podcast, we're not going to really deep dive into fantasy football itself.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, but you can just keep listening and maybe we'll give you something. But I think we should talk about fantasy football punishments because the leagues are about to start up, and for some leagues, they get way too competitive and they punish the ultimate loser.
That's not way too competitive. That should be everything.
Yeah, everything. If you do bad, you should just have a massive punishment.
There are winners and losers in this country.
And we're winners.
I'm really excited about this segment.
Yeah, it'll be good. This was Dane's idea. He was laughing again maniacally to himself, and I want to hope it was about fantasy football punishments and not something else. But we're going to draft what we think are the worst fantasy football punishments, and I put in parentheses, not completely illegal. We'll see. Dane, I think you should just kick this off. Like, we don't even need to do any rock, paper, scissors or ask Siri anything. Just let me know who you think should be your number one overall pick for worst fantasy football punishments.
No, I want you to go first.
Oh, wow. Great. Okay, I'll go first. Watch it. I just somehow steal one of yours. Like, I don't even know how.
I will be absolutely mind blown if you steal one of mine. Mine are so detailed.
So for my first one, I think this is a pretty simple one. You have to complete an Ironman.
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm not doing that.
2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, 26.2 mile run. And for the average person, Ironman probably takes, the average training person, let's say, probably takes around 10 to 15 hours.
Oh my goodness.
I'm guessing most of these people in the fantasy football leagues wouldn't do that.
Probably not the most in shape of people.
Yeah, it could take them until the next fantasy football season to complete this Ironman.
Yeah. Think about people in my leagues. Isaac Rowling, you're fat and out of shape.
Is relevant because if he's fat and out of shape, he would be rolling. I don't know who you are, or do I know him? Do I know
No,
him?
you don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can get mad at Dane for my burn, but if you just get in shape, I wouldn't burn you as much.
He's actually super in shape.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just going off your word.
He was our starting quarterback in high school.
Okay. Well, Ben Roethlisberger was a quarterback.
That's true. That's true. Shout out to Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, he has that new documentary out, but we're kind of getting off topic.
Yeah, we're off topic.
Yeah, okay. Who do you want for your first punishment?
Oh, man.
Then your second one, because you get to go back to back.
They're all so good. So should I go with the least violent one?
I want you to go with wherever your heart leads you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just go in order.
Yes.
Number 1, the loser must buy a one-way ticket to North Korea, but may not return until they've earned enough money to buy a plane ticket out of that country.
I go with doing an Iron Man, and you send them to a communist country.
I told you communism was going to be a theme.
Honestly, for most of the people in your leagues, it'll probably be easier to buy the ticket to North Korea.
You have to buy the ticket to North Korea and have nothing but the clothes on your back when you enter there, and you cannot return until you've earned enough money to fly back.
Earning money in a communist country is not easy,
especially as an American.
Yeah. I'm not gonna join your fantasy football league. I'm sorry, Dane. I really don't want to anymore.
That one's really good.
You know, you really run a hard bargain or something like that. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass on that one.
Come on, it's a $5 buy-in.
Yeah. Well, what if you have someone on your team who lives in North Korea? What do they have to do?
Well, if they live in North Korea, you have to room with them.
Okay, but I'm saying if they were in the league and they lost.
Oh, and they lost?
Yeah.
Then they have to go to South Korea, and they may not return.
No, they won't return because they have freedom then.
Well,
So,
yeah. Fine. They must go to China, and they're not allowed to return until they've successfully overthrown the government.
Okay, I think that's more reasonable.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm kind of scared to hear what your next pick is, but go with number 2, Dane.
Number 2 is loser at the end of the season must adopt 5 ball python snakes and raise them until the next draft, but they may not have cages.
Bald pythons?
Ball python.
Are those really big? Or so you're raising them?
You have to adopt 5 ball python babies and raise them until the next draft, but they may not have cages.
Okay, so you get them as babies. It ends in around March. When's the Super Bowl? February?
Well, that's not when fantasy football goes till.
Oh, okay. We'll go to like beginning of January?
December.
So December, and you have to take it to about September. They are sucking kind of big, Dane.
I know. And they can't have cages.
Well, you said no cages. I would just throw them in a room.
Nope.
And just hope for the best until you open up one day. It's like, where did they go?
Oh, God.
There's a hole in the wall. I don't know where they are.
That's one of my new ideas for my work is I want to put snake eggs in the ceiling, and then 3 to 5 weeks from now, they'll be hatched, and we will not know where they are.
Have you ever watched Snakes on a Plane?
I'm not going to.
I feel like you would relate to the villains very well in that movie.
No, I hate snakes.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, you're off to a hot start with both your first 2 picks. Way to show me up with my Iron Man pick. So for number 2, I think this is probably the same as like your North Korea type pick. I'm going to the Waffle House 24.
Ooh.
Yes.
I know that one.
You do know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Waffle House 24 is basically you have to be in a Waffle House for 24 hours, but for every waffle you eat, you get an hour taken off your total time.
I've seen that with IHOP and pancakes too.
I wouldn't want to do it at IHOP though. Waffle House is the way to go. It's more exciting. You get more entertainment if there's a fight when there's a fight.
I love Waffle House.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the clip of that one? It was a massive fight. A lady threw a chair at one of like the workers, and she literally like warped it with one hand and like laid it down. Like it made no sense.
That's crazy.
It was the craziest move I've ever seen. She should have been put in the WWE immediately.
I took my K-Life boys to Waffle House one time.
Yeah.
And let's just say they were making us look bad.
Well, they make you look bad everywhere.
I know.
You mentioned before that you went to a Springfield Cardinals game. They made you look bad. Waffle House. Like, I don't know. Why do you take them places?
I'm not anymore.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game.
Places.
How many waffles do you think you could eat during a Waffle House 24? Or how many would you realistically eat because you'd have to buy each one?
Right. So, well, yeah, buying them is going to be the problem.
Yeah, because it'll be, let's say, roughly $3 a piece. So it could be $72 if you ate 24 immediately.
Ugh. But I have 24 hours to eat all these waffles anyways. So right away, I'm eating 3 at least right away, and then I might wait for a second.
You don't have 24 hours to eat them. You have 24 hours, but for every one you eat, you get an hour off.
Right. But is this so I go in there.
So you're in there for 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if you eat a waffle, then it's 23 hours.
Right. So I go in, clock starts. I eat one.
23 hours.
I eat 3, it takes off 3 hours.
So 21 hours
Then
left.
I wait an hour.
Okay, so you have 20 hours left.
Yeah, and then I eat 3 more.
Okay.
And then I wait an hour. And do it that way. That way I don't just get absolutely miserable or I throw up in the bathroom.
Okay, so that'd be 4. So you would be there for 6 hours.
Yep.
But you'd eat 18 pancakes.
Oh, man.
18 pancakes in 6 hours is a lot.
I might do waffles.
Yeah.
But also, I need some orange juice.
Why in the world would you drink orange juice in this scenario? Like, you want to get down as many waffles as possible. I feel like you want to have either water or maybe coffee to really speed up the digestive system so you can lose some weight during the 24.
Well, there's only a few things that we know in this situation right now. Number one, coffee's for fascists.
Okay.
And number two,
Fascists and communists, two of the sponsors of Dane's part of the pod.
low key.
Not actually. let's not go with sponsors, but just two of his, not heroes.
Reoccurring segments.
Reoccurring segments. That's the good word for it.
And also, I'm thirsty right now.
Okay.
So I want some orange juice.
Okay. We can try to get you some orange juice later, Dane.
No, I need it now.
Okay. Here you go. Here's some orange juice.
That's not orange juice. That's air.
Well, just pretend it's orange juice, okay?
I don't want your air.
Okay. I get it.
All right.
My next pick. I think you will like this one.
Uh-huh.
You have to publicly promote a political candidate you disagree with and that your family and friends despise.
Hey, Michael Fuller, do you want to be in a fantasy football league with me?
He would work so hard not to lose that league, and if he did, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it.
Here's the thing. I would convince the entire league to trade me all their best players, and then whoever's playing him every week, I would trade them all of the best players.
And just make sure that Michael has no way to override these trades. So he's just like, no, stop.
So
I can't do this anymore.
I'm trading Justin.
You would run his career at that point.
Oh, yeah. I'm trading all the best players to his team, and then I tell the person, hey, you have to trade these players over to this team now. And it'd be great. Every Tuesday, they have to make a trade.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a very dangerous consequence, to say the least, because, especially if you're posting about it on Facebook, that's where a lot of your, let's say, older family members probably are.
Yeah.
And they will be talking some stuff behind your back and probably at you directly. So that would be a horrible punishment.
Well, a little add to that punishment, too, is they should document their journey on TikTok.
That's a really good, and then especially they keep it private from their family, so they don't know that this is a joke,
right?
But it's actually happening. And then honestly, that's how they go TikTok famous, because people are like, "You are crazy," but at the same time, because they're getting so many views from this, they'll just go with it every year.
Yeah, you have to at this point.
And then at that point, they'll just change they won't know what they believe anymore.
Yeah, what do you believe?
I don't know. Do I want money and to be a sellout, or do I want to go for my true values? Money it is.
Yeah, Michael, we need to know these answers.
Michael, do you just want the money?
Yeah, are you a sellout?
Or do you care? So we'll talk about that more next week on the pod with Michael Fuller when he hopefully calls us out.
I hope so.
One of these future weeks. Hopefully. Yeah.
Shout out to Kansas City.
Shout out to Kansas City.
That's where he is, isn't he?
Is it Kansas City or Oklahoma?
Oh, I don't know.
It's one of those places.
He's in med school somewhere.
Not Springfield. He's so smart. He's awesome.
Right.
But not awesome enough to stay true to his values in this scenario.
His truest values of communism.
Dane,
yeah,
you have two more picks here.
Sure do.
What are you going to pick for your last two picks of the draft?
I'm glad you asked. For my third pick, last place must commit arson on a federal building and must go with the public defendant.
Okay, I thought we said not illegal here. I think you're getting off track.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
You don't see that arson's my favorite felony.
Oh, then that makes it okay. It's not illegal anymore. Because that's what they're like, hey, why did you burn down all those buildings? Illegal. Well, it's my favorite felony. It's okay. It's okay.
Felony.
Like, this is it's what I need. Well, I got this.
And you have to go with the public defender.
I need this.
I need this. I don't want to do this.
I need this.
My fantasy football punishment.
And then, but as soon as you brought up the fantasy football into it, they'd be like, I got you. Last year I had to fly to North Korea.
Shout out to that one.
You'd have to have a support group for fantasy football losers if they played in your leagues.
Well, you just wait until my last one right here.
Oh, okay. End it on a high note, I guess. Let's see.
Loser must join a sorority of the winner's choosing and may not drop out until they complete Rush and Greek Week.
I would try to lose. Just kidding. That'd be so interesting. I get to do the TikTok thing. Like, what are you doing here?
AD Pie, ride or die.
Dad, why are you here? Honey, I lost a bet with the boys. They said I have to show up, so hopefully one of us gets a bid. This time. You beat out your daughter for the sorority. It's like
the bid.
And then at that point, you just fully embrace it. Like, I'm sorry, it's kind of fun. So maybe next year, honey, this holidays will be a little awkward.
And our last selection is Greg.
Greg, come on, Greg.
Woo!
You're our favorite family member.
Selena, you're cut.
Yeah, you're done. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Go to North Korea already. Like,
I'm
come
not
on.
sure if this is how sororities work.
I don't really know either. I've never been in one.
All I remember, I've never been in one either.
It's because I've never lost.
Right. Me
Yeah,
either.
yeah,
I never
yeah.
finished last. But I remember my freshman year of college when I was in Isaac Rolling's dorm. And listening to, I'm like, what is that noise? And then we open the window and they're just chanting out there. And I'm like, what is that?
I don't know
what
this.
cult is that?
Seriously, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a cult. Like, it's nuts.
Sororities are cults. You heard it here first.
Yeah, sororities and the Indianapolis Colts.
In the Indianapolis
Colts, yes.
But it's really Springfield Colts. Mm-hmm. What's your last one?
Final one. This is I like this one as well. You have to get a Dr. Phil. And what I mean by that,
I love Dr. Phil. He's
you have
hilarious.
to get Dr. Phil's haircut, or I guess kind of lack thereof. So you have this bald head with like the hair going around the rims.
Oh, man.
And then you must speak like him for a day while counseling friends is needed. Well, hey,
Well,
kids,
now,
hey.
Tommy, here's where you went wrong.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have joined the football league in the first place. I understand your friend's still stuck in North Korea, but why are you in the sorority? Like, come on.
Now, come on, Tommy, just say it with me. If you're a dirtbag, just say, I am a dirtbag.
Hey, catch me outside. How about that, Tommy?
Dr. Phil used to play at 3 o'clock on my work break room TV every day. I would stop in for at least 5 minutes to listen to it, and I would just be cracking up.
It's like, what is happening here? Because now, especially at this point, they get the craziest possible guests on there for, believe it or not, entertainment purposes for a TV show.
Believe it or not.
It's, I'm pretty sure he's also not like a licensed therapist or anything. He's just one of those TV people. So
I'd be laughing watching it. I'd be like, that's horrible advice.
yeah. As you have the bald head and you're talking to Dr. Phil.
That's horrible advice.
I can't even do the voice right now. But
oh, man.
Those.
Do you have any honorable mentions? Because I have 3.
I have one.
Okay.
You must start a podcast and release a minimum of 10 1-hour-long episodes. All have to be different. You can't just release the same one over and over and over. And you have to call it the Until Next Week podcast.
What?
Shout out. No,
That's not how we started.
No, not at all. But this is our 33rd episode, so obviously it wasn't a punishment.
Yeah, we just kept going with it because we already had so much momentum after episode 10.
Yeah.
Right
We're
now,
almost on the year anniversary of us first discussing the idea.
Yeah, or so.
It would have been around September, I believe.
Whatever day the Thomas Rhett concert was, basically.
Oh, speaking of Thomas Rhett, I did buy a autographed guitar of him the other day.
That's right. That I knew that. We were in the town car together, and you said you had one in the back seat, and you wouldn't let me steal it.
Forgot about that. Yeah, because I literally bought it a week ago.
Selfish.
Nice.
Totally
Very, very nice. Fun stuff, though.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Honorable mentions for you. I'm sure they're completely normal and nothing too crazy, right? Right, Dane?
Right.
Dane, right?
Hey, this one's not illegal right here. So
Almost like your first 4 should have been, but let me wait, not illegal in what country?
just America.
Okay. What is your honorable mention here?
So, I have 3. So, loser must look up the city with the highest crime rate and leave all their valuables unsupervised for 3 hours.
So you're either going to St. Louis. I guess Springfield's one of them.
I was thinking Detroit.
Detroit's also bad. Oh, actually, no, the worst one would be San Francisco.
Oh, let's leave it there.
And something that's interesting there is that because there's so many like car break-ins, a lot of people legitimately just leave their doors unlocked.
Yeah.
So they don't break the window and they just open it up and are like, oh, there's nothing here. Because it costs so much money each time they break the windows. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I would hate living in San Francisco.
Man. That's crazy where you just get to the point where you give up and you just leave your car unlocked.
You have a really expensive car, but you don't want to get it messed up. So you just leave your doors unlocked. They can open up, see there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to make sure to take everything out, though, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Like, I left all my life savings in the middle again.
Well, I went to Kansas City to visit my brother one time.
That's really cool.
And this is back when I had my old car, and the locks wouldn't lock unless you push them down yourself. And I forgot to lock one of the doors. And
Dang.
I come out the next morning. I had CDs thrown everywhere, glove compartment open. And I'm like, wait a second.
Wait. Then that's just how my car usually looks. Never mind. No one broke in, guys. It's okay. It's okay.
No, but I had a $100 gift card in the back seat. And I remember as I was getting out of the car, I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave this here, but I better hide it. So I put a paper plate over it
That's a really good hiding place.
Guess what they didn't take?
Oh, they actually didn't take it?
They didn't take it.
Oh, there you go.
They never saw it. They saw the paper plate and then didn't move the paper plate.
It's literally a gift card, and you can't just keep that in your wallet and take it with you.
I didn't think about it.
You're like, oh, yeah, but I'll put a paper plate over it. Like, that's fine.
It was like in a box. And
Okay.
And then I put the paper plate over the box.
And no one took it.
And no one took it.
Did they take anything else?
They took all my change. But
Yeah, and your pride.
No.
Or your dignity, sorry.
If anything, I survived a mugging.
Congratulations.
It's all about how you spin it.
Yeah. Man.
All right, this next one's not illegal either.
Okay, final honorable mention for you.
I have 2 more.
I thought you already gave 2 honorable mentions.
No, I've given 1.
Oh. Okay. Well, what is it?
Loser must enroll at Ohio State University and be forced to wear Michigan gear the entire semester.
That is such an expensive punishment.
Oh, yeah. It's
like, well, you have to enroll, but you have to get in like in multiple classes as well, or so just like one class, or how?
Well, you have to take a gender studies class for sure.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And then you have to take like raising a child class, whatever they call it now.
I mean, that's also valuable to you.
It could be, but specifically all about when the baby's in the womb.
Okay, so you have to raise the child in the womb.
Yeah, but after that, you're no longer the father.
Who's the other talk show host?
Steve Harvey.
You're not the father.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. There we go.
Shout out to good wholesome
Shout
family
out,
fun.
yeah, Jerry Springer, Dr. Phil, and Steve Harvey.
This last one goes out to you.
Yeah, and Judge Judy.
Loser must go to an anti-gun rally wearing a Ja Morant jersey.
You said anti-gun rally?
Anti-gun rally. Wearing a Ja Morant jersey.
That would be interesting for sure.
That one's also not illegal.
No, it's not. But honestly, I feel like people... So I could be wrong here, but I feel like people at an anti-gun rally probably don't watch sports. So I feel like they probably wouldn't catch the reference and you'd be okay.
I would say most people wouldn't get the reference.
No.
Or they do get the reference and just don't... It doesn't click.
Yeah.
Because like...
Just like the gun.
I get... Dang it. I was just gonna say, if I was at a anti-gun rally, and saw somebody in a Ja Morant jersey, I'd be like, "Oh, he's got a Ja Morant jersey on."
Yeah,
cool.
I made a mistake when I went to Texas like a month or 2 ago. I was in an Uber with somebody, and we were just. I'm the kind of guy who talks to Uber drivers if they're like feeling it, and somehow we got on the topic of Ja Morant. And I didn't even say too much of an opinion on it. I was just like, yeah, it kind of stinks that he got like suspended and stuff. And whatever else, and the other guy was definitely on Ja Morant's side, and I was like, oh no, what have I done here? So then I had to try to change the topic, and he just kept going, and I'm like, yep, you're probably right, yep, I don't get it, I don't know, like, yeah, he probably should just be back in, yep, no penalty. It was a frustrating conversation to have because I was like, what did I just bring myself into? And it was a good conversation until I brought that up, and he was definitely on Ja Morant's side, and I was like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make small talk. I didn't expect to get into all of this with you. But he got a good tip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know those times when you're like trapped in a conversation with somebody and you're hitting
like in this podcast?
No. Well, yes and no. But you're hitting them with the, no, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like all the times, like,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And like literally at that point, all you're doing is just letting them have their internal conversation with themselves, and you're just like,
yeah,
cool.
Old people do that a lot.
Or when like, hey, so where do I need to meet? Yeah, you need to meet at the other side of town. So here's what street you need to take, and then take this one, and then take a right here and left here. I'm like, I have Google Maps.
Yeah.
I
Dad,
don't need
if you're listening, send me the address.
Yeah, and then if it's past 5 p.m., the sun will be at this angle, and that's when you know to take a left.
Yeah,
I'm like, I got Google Maps. I'm okay. We're good.
Yeah,
we're all good here.
Give me the address, and I'll be there in 8 minutes.
I don't even need the address a lot of times. Like, just tell me what the place is, and I can look it up.
Tell me what it's called. Yeah.
Like it's amazing to me how often those people don't realize that you can just literally type it into Google Maps, and you're good to go. Like that's all you got to do.
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. Shout out.
Do you have any final thoughts?
You know, I always have final thoughts. But I think for this week, my final thought is, if you aren't already, please subscribe to our Spotify. That's what I was trying to say there.
Is that a spell from Harry Potter?
Oh no, the person in the corner just I don't even know what has happened to him. Sorry. Yeah, that was my Harry Potter spells. But yes,
Sorry, I was
that's
thirsty.
probably your final thought.
I
But
was
yes,
thirsty.
subscribe to our Spotify.
Oh, that's
Our
smooth.
followers have been shooting through the roof lately, and it's pretty fun to watch. So if you have not subscribed yet, please do. And also, for all you Apple Podcast listeners, please leave us a 5-star review and also leave us a written review of the podcast, and we will read it on one of our future episodes. We'll give you a shout out. If you have any questions, throw it in there. We'll answer them. Or you can always just go, I think, to the link in our bios of our podcast, and they have where you can leave like a voice memo for us, which is just like a voice recording, and we can throw you on the episode as well. Yeah. So if you want to become, until next week, podcast famous, you could do any of those things.
I have a feeling that you have one right now. There's a question in your question box.
I don't know how to find that one.
You just need to go find it right now.
I don't know where it is. I honestly don't know how to get to that part.
The listener may have submitted it last night.
I think sometimes it takes a while for it to show up. So you can give some of your final thoughts, and I'll see if I can find this.
Well, I'm glad you asked because...
Oh, Cardinals just won. Shout out.
We already know that.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Also, that's a bad thing. We want them to lose now.
No, I want them to reach 500. That's all I want. Let's see.
But also, this person may have been laying in bed last night thinking about the podcast.
I found the question. But keep going. I'll get to it.
Go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Some random listener. I mean, they have their name here, but I'm sure it's just like a troll name for sure. But the question is, why is Dane so much more athletic than Lindsay? Like, really, I know her personally, and she really stinks. I changed one of the words because I didn't want to cuss on the pod. I don't know who this was. I think it's a burner account because, sometimes people just like, if you're like a LeBron James, they have like LeBron James fan or LeBron James parody. And this person just put in Dane Beesmeyer. So I think it's just somebody who's a really big fan of you.
Yeah, Lindsay, you suck.
Gosh. The amount of times we just burn people just for the sake of burning them. I mean, first we got Michael. Now we got Lindsay. Like, what's next? I don't know.
North Korea.
Yeah. But did you answer the question? Like, why is Dane so much more athletic than Lindsay? I don't think it's true, but I'm curious to hear what you think here.
Listener, thank you for submitting that question. It's really, it goes back to the hard work, the dedication, the waking up at 4 a.m., the never backing down, the never saying never, and just remembering all the times that Lindsay slept in and decided to eat very avocado toast instead of protein.
Yeah.
She
keeps saying it.
I mean, it's just tough it's hard.
It's hard being perfect. It's hard being humble when you're perfect in every way.
And here's the thing, Samuel. And
here's the thing, Dane.
To really answer the question.
Say it as Dr. Phil would.
Well, to answer the question, it's really hard when you're the funniest, the most attractive, and most athletic sibling. I mean, you talk about a weight on your back.
You were in his.
It's tough, and Lindsay, it sucks.
Gosh.
And Cole, you're not out of the woods either. You suck too,
just like Taylor Swift. But if you have the Bear Grylls version on your, I was gonna say iPod. That's not even really that relevant. If you have it on your phone, you'll know how to get out of the woods. Okay.
Yeah. Run out of the woods. But also, it's time for our sponsors.
Sponsor of the week. Jesus. Number one. It's never going to change, but we'll always act like there's a chance it will change. So just keep listening to make sure we are truthful on our word. So yes, Jesus is our sponsor of the week, number one. And I heard you have a verse of the week as well.
I always have a verse of the week.
Yes, you do, Dane.
And we have never honestly kind of explained the gospel. So what I'm going to go with this week.
Really good transition from calling out your sister and how horrible she is. And now we're going to explain the gospel.
Here's a photo of her not being athletic.
That looks exactly like you.
Not true.
I'm just kidding.
She looks very manly in this photo,
I'm kidding. It was a joke. It was a joke, Lindsay. It was a joke.
No, it wasn't. You're a bum.
Okay, now do you want to explain the gospel after calling out your sister?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Great transition.
So John 3:16.
For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that whoever believes him shall not perish but have eternal life. AKA, God
Yes.
loved us so much that he sent his perfect son to the world to live a life that we could not live and then die a death that we deserved on the cross. And then he rose from the dead 3 days later.
He did.
And trusting in that as assurance for salvation
Amen.
is how you get to heaven. So if you want to get to heaven, you trust in that, and then you start being like, hey, so what's this Jesus guy about?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read the book that he's all about.
And you decide to follow him, and
Yeah.
everything
It's
just
crazy.
gets better.
It's 66 books written by over 40 authors, which means it's
With one cohesive story.
one cohesive story.
Yeah.
And with 40 authors, there's no other book that's ever been written kind of like that.
No.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And also, it is historically accurate because it said that this city, this place was in this dirt at this area. Archaeologists went and dug it up, which means it's worth considering.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Yeah. That is a very good word. And you were kind of talking about like being historically accurate, and that kind of reminds me of different like historical items, like artwork. Like that's some of the biggest stuff you see like throughout history that we've kept over the years. And
Like
that's
the Declaration of Independence.
yeah, for
and the
sure.
map on the back of it.
And I think that really speaks to my heart on why Jake Trustin Art is our number 2 podcast sponsor.
We're really big into the art like culture around here, and that's why we're supporting a world famous artist,
World famous.
Jake Trustin Art.
Yeah.
He is United States famous because his artwork has been sold all over the United States.
Yeah, it has been. It's also been given out on our podcast in early episodes.
That's so true.
Yeah, it is.
Because he allows us to give away all of his stuff.
And I'm really glad that once you moved out of his house, you took all these paintings with you so we could give them out without him knowing it.
He doesn't know yet.
Yeah, there's so many here. This is awesome.
But Jake, if you're listening to this, don't do anything to my Cowboys toaster. I
Yeah,
need that.
yeah. You haven't. Wait, you still have the toaster there?
Yeah, because
Why didn't you take it?
Connor Rule, that rapscallion, hit it whenever he flew in from California.
He hid your toaster.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It was the Dallas Cowboys?
It is Dallas Cowboys
Well, I mean,
toaster.
it probably never worked.
Well, no, it worked by burning a Dallas Star into your toast every morning so you could have a smile on your face.
Beautiful.
Listen, no one could ever accuse me of being bandwagon. That's for sure.
No.
No one would willingly choose
You
this.
can't be a bandwagon for a team that's that bad.
We're not bad. We make it all the time.
How many playoff wins? Actually, we don't need to get into this.
Way more than every team ever.
We're working on closing up the episode.
Certainly better than Green Bay.
No, Jordan Love is the future.
sucks.
Jordan Love's the future. But you know what's also the future? The
What?
Federal Reserve. I don't know why you put this. Dane, please explain our third sponsor of the week, the Federal Reserve.
Well, it's one of our fantasy football punishments. The loser.
You got another one? Hey, call back to earlier. The Federal Reserve, our third sponsor, Dane. Please tell me why.
Loser must get a job at the Federal Reserve and detail plans of an elaborate heist, but accidentally, quote unquote, leave plans on desk whenever he leaves work one day, and must then go through the entire procedure of due process, aka go to court, and defend themselves.
That's actually reasonable.
I
Like
know.
compare with all your other punishments, that's the most reasonable one. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's just do it for fun anyway.
Let's get a job at the Federal Reserve.
I think they pay pretty well. Probably.
No, probably not. Well, if they don't.
I mean, if you
If they
play your
do-
cards right and you
Right.
steal the money,
All right.
like that's all you
Yeah.
got to do.
If you work there, you can just be like, hey, I'm not getting paid enough. I'm going to supplement my income somehow.
Yes,
I'm going to fall into this duffel bag full of money.
that's a good idea. So
I have a lot of duffel bags.
yeah, and they're all filled with money, obviously.
Not true.
Okay.
One has alligators in it.
Yeah, you have the alligators, you have the hyenas, you have the money, you have the art from Jake Trustin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and orange juice, as you mentioned
Ooh.
earlier.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Ingredients of Baja Blast.
We're never going to end the episode. So, Dane,
Citric acid. That's orange juice.
okay. And on that note, I think that was episode 33 of the Until Next Week podcast.
I think we'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Until next week, guys. Peace.
Meow.